Good afternoon, and welcome to the Board of Health meeting of March 4th, 2024. Please note this meeting is being recorded and will be available shortly hereafter for scheduled and on-demand viewing on any smartphone or tablet. If anyone else is recording this meeting, please notify the chairperson. Pursuant to Governor Healy's March 29, 2023 signing of the Acts 2023 extending certain COVID-19 measures adopted during the state of emergency, suspending certain provisions of the Open Meeting Law, General Law, Chapter 38, Section 20, until March 31st, 2025, this meeting of the Chatham Board of Health is being conducted in person and via remote participation. Every effort will be made to ensure that the public can adequately access the proceedings as provided for in the order. A reminder that persons who would like to listen to this meeting while in progress may do so by calling 508-945-4410, the conference ID 806-414-667#, or you may join the meeting online via Microsoft Teams through the link in the posted agenda. While this is a live broadcast and simulcast on TV Channel 8 and 1072, despite our best efforts, we may not be able to provide real-time access. We will post a record of this meeting on the town's website as soon as possible. I'll turn the meeting over to our Vice Chair, Carol Boyce.
It shall be the policy of this board to conduct its meeting under the open meeting law so as to encourage public participation whenever time permits, and as part of an agenda item discussion. And we're doing a public hearing to discuss the revisions to the nitrogen loading regulation. And Judy, do you want to read the change? Oh, all right, and we'll take attendance. We have John Buckley.
Here.
Carol Gordon.
Here.
And myself. So that makes a quorum of 3.
Okay, so before we open the meeting, I guess I'll just kind of review the change that we're proposing of the nitrogen loading regs. There's a couple of minor ones I'll go over, and then there's one more substantial one. Let's see, Section 2. I added wording in the findings and purpose that says, additionally, the intensified use of seasonal properties has put a strain on drinking water resource and quality of life in the community. And then further down, the last paragraph of Section 2, I added the wording and to minimize the strain on the town's drinking water resources and quality of life. In the definitions, of 3.3, section 3.3, under sunroom, I just made a little edit. I changed a bedroom to bedrooms and roof. That was there. Section 4.1, applicability, section F, took out the word or, and then added it back in, so it's alterations, additions, or reconstruction of dwellings, existing dwellings, where a new bedroom, and then in parentheses added, additional flow is added. So just some cleanup items. Under the variance section in section 6, I removed nitrogen reducing technology IA and added best available nitrogen reducing technology, and added in accordance with Title 5, 310 CMR 15. And then the major change in section 6, so it's 6.2, we added, it says existing properties that already exceed the requirements of section 5.1 and 5.2 will not be allowed an extra bedroom. We added in, notwithstanding that 2-bedroom properties on lots greater than 10,000 square feet may be allowed a 3rd bedroom upon review of the Board of Health in accordance with the requirements of section 6.1 A, B, and C All such variance granted may require conditions as defined by the board, including a deed a deed restricting the use of the property to owner occupied or for rental greater than 31 days in length, no short-term rentals. And then there's some numbering changes. But that's the major change that I think will be the most interesting to discuss. I think that's it. Yep, that's it. So,
All right, so
Yep.
now we can open the hearing.
yes.
Are there any public comments?
I don't see any online. Anybody in the audience? I don't see any online. Any hands online? Or anyone from the audience?
No?
I do see that Ron Broman is also here. Anyone online want to make a comment? This is the public hearing portion of the meeting.
Yes, I'll make a comment.
Okay, go ahead.
Hello,
you state your
my
name,
is
please?
Yes, my name is Charles O'Connell, and I have a residence that own at 53 Shane Drive in Chatham. I just had a question on the wording of the section that has a major revision, and it really is the last part that has to do with the restrictions that might be applied for deed restrictions or rentals. Could you just kind of provide additional clarification on the meaning of that restriction?
You want me to? The way the permit, the way the regulation was written was that if you didn't meet the regulation, say you had a 30,000 square foot lot and you already had already had 4 bedrooms on it, you would not be able to add a 5th bedroom. There was some discussion when we did that said people that have smaller lots that have only 2 bedrooms on them would not be able to add a 3rd bedroom, and that they felt that people should be able to have a minimum of 3 bedrooms. So this section is saying that 2-bedroom properties on a lot that's greater than 10,000 square feet may be allowed a 3rd bedroom upon review and approval by the Board of Health. They would have to put in an alternative nitrogen-reducing septic system, and they would also possibly be conditioned to not being able to use the property as a short-term rental. That would be part of a deed restriction.
Could you just, the last sentence of that restriction that has to do with short-term rentals over 31 days, do you mean that you'd restrict it to under 31 days?
No,
That
it
you
would
might
mean,
restrict
it would
it-
mean rentals that are, so anything that's rented out, say, a week at a time, 7 days, 6 days, over a weekend, if it's rented out for greater than 31 days to one particular party, so if they were doing like a 6-month rental or a year-round rental, it wouldn't apply. It's just it wouldn't be considered a short-term rental. That may need some clarification, if it's confusing the way it's written. So we can
So-
take that into consideration.
So now I'm afraid I'm still confused. So is it your intention in talking about restrictions that might come with approval for a third bedroom, is your thought process to have a restriction to prevent rentals to less than 30 days or to prevent rentals beyond 30 days?
Neither. It's to prevent,
Short-term.
it's to prevent short-term rentals, yes. So if you had a house and you wanted to add a third bedroom, you would not be able to use it as a short-term rental.
So that the way I would interpret that is that you wouldn't be able to rent it out for a week, but you might be able to rent it out for 60 days?
Yes. But if at any time during that year you were renting it out for 7 days or a week or, 5 days or whatever, it would be considered a short-term rental.
Yeah, so that's what you want to restrict, is just the under 30-day rentals.
Right.
I see, thank you.
I can look at that wording. We can talk about that after. Any other comments from the audience? Sorry. You're doing your job.
Good afternoon, members of the board. Bill Litchfield here on behalf of Rich Tepper, who is in the rear row, who is one of those homeowners with a lot in excess of 10,000 square feet and would like to add a third bedroom. And the restriction is, the change in the language is very, very much appreciated by the Teppers. Just for language, I would suggest that perhaps restricted to rentals of not less than 30 days might work. And using the 30 rather than 31 would deal with June and what's the rhyme, September and November and something like that. But not less than 30 days might get you where you want to go. So just make that suggestion.
Thank you. Any other public comments?
Close it.
Okay. All right, well, I guess we'll close the meeting then.
Close the hearing.
Close the hearing. And we'll discuss this at a future meeting and take a vote at a future meeting.
Yes, I would recommend that you take it up at after we have a chance to discuss the comments, clarification of wording if needed, and then you have a full board or closer to it. But there's nothing to prevent us from moving that onto the next meeting's agenda, which would be March 25th.
Okay. All right. We have minutes
We
from
have minutes.
February 12th.
I'll make a motion, we adopt the minutes, the draft minutes from February 12th.
And do I have a second?
I'll second it.
All right. And take a vote.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. So those minutes are passed. And anything else on the agenda? That's
Nothing
it.
else, I'll make a motion, we adjourn the meeting.
And a second.
I'll second it.
All right. The meeting is adjourned.
Have to vote. Have to vote.
And take a
Aye.
vote.
Aye.
Aye. Meeting adjourned.